All right, let's have a little fun today. Second citizenship is a very intriguing thing. We talk about passport portfolios here on our channel, but I've been doing some thinking. And so I wanted to put together in this video a theoretical plan, either for someone who's young, or even better, for a child that you might have in the future, to get 14 different citizenships by the age of 30. I'll show you how to do it right now. I'm Andrew Henderson, and for those of you who watch a lot of our videos, I like to think about citizenship a lot. In fact, I've been spending some time recently thinking at different scenarios for someone who wanted to set a world record for the greatest number of citizenships. Now, obviously the average person has one citizenship. Being a dual citizen is considered pretty cool, and we talk about here having a portfolio of passports to be able to go where you're treated best by having a couple different types of citizenships. Now, is 14 getting carried away? Probably so. But I'm going to walk you through a relatively simple solution or a simple process by which a child could get to the age of late 20s or 30 years old with 14 different passports. Now, the first and easiest way to get citizenship that those of us from the Americas are used to is citizenship by birth. In most American countries, i.e. North and South America and the Caribbean, any child born on the soil is automatically a citizen. And so a lot of people go to Brazil or to the United States or to Canada. We talk about Chile, Argentina, what have you. Those are places you can go and get your child one citizenship. However, and these two passports may not be the best, but if you wanted to get your child two passports just by birth, it's theoretically possible to give birth in the disputed territory between Venezuela and Guyana. Venezuela claims part of Guyana. Guyana says, no, it's ours. Theoretically, even though this area isn't very populated, you could give birth and appeal to both of them to give your child a citizenship. Okay. Now, next, where are the parents from? Okay. Let's say we have two dual citizen parents. As long as those citizenships weren't citizenship by investments, in the Caribbean, then those would all pass down to the child. What people actually don't know is that programs like St. Lucia or Antigua and Barbuda, the child doesn't necessarily get that citizenship guaranteed. Okay, there's a process you have to go through. But let's just say the parents are, dual citizens. Mother has two, father has two. We add two for birth, two from dad, two from mom. Now we are at 6. Now let's say we have a relatively simple childhood, a relatively normal childhood. We're not traveling all over the world. We're not getting paper residences. We're not doing anything too weird. Let's just say we choose one country to go and live in, okay? And because we're a child, we have an easier time learning the language, and therefore, along with our parents, we can more easily naturalize and collect our 7th passport, whether it's 3, 4, 5 years, whatever the process may be. And so, by this point, we're somewhere, still in the single digits. Then the family's going to move somewhere else and repeat that same process, okay? So in the first 18 years of our life, we're going to live in 2 different places, learn the language if necessary, meet all the criteria, and we're going to naturalize. And because it's a child in this case, we're not too worried about minimizing their taxes. And so it doesn't matter that we spend full time in a country. The tax laws don't really matter, for the child at least. And so now we've got our 6 plus 2 more places we've lived. That makes 8. All right, so now our child has graduated from high school. They want to go to university. There are countries such as Peru where you can go and get residence by being a student. Obviously, there are a lot of countries where you can do this. Not all of them naturalize foreign citizens, but Peru is a great example where you can go and you can study for 2 years. Peru actually has relatively strict immigration rules. It's become a lot more difficult recently to get in and become a citizen the normal way, but students still have a pathway to citizenship. And so you can go to university in a country like Peru and become a citizen. That gives us 9 passports, okay? And so now we've got a young adult, 21, 22 years old. We've still got 8 more years to collect an additional 5 passports before they turn 30. And so what I would throw in is at this point, let's say, you've raised your child to be a successful person, maybe the family has some money, go out and get a citizenship by investment. That adds a 10th passport. Then let's say the child wants to take a job. They just got out of school. They now have their 10th passport under their belt. They're going to go and get their feet wet, let's say in a country like Germany or in France. Again, they're going to have a job, so they're going to pay tax in that country, but they're also going to live in that country full-time. They're going to learn the language if they don't already know it, and then they're going to be able to naturalize. And so by the time they're 27, 28, they'll be able to collect their 11th passport. Now, potentially, let's say you save up some money, maybe you start a side business or a side hustle, while you're working that job. Now we've got a couple more years to collect 3 more passports. Theoretically, it's possible to go back to South America and split your time between a couple of different countries. Let's say Chile and Argentina, where Argentina might be a bit flexible with you. You could go and plead your case. You could meet Chile's physical presence requirements, then go and spend the rest of your time in Argentina, all the while making some kind of investment in a country like a Colombia or a Panama, if they actually did naturalize people, where you would actually not have to spend much time there, if any at all, in order to eventually be qualified for naturalization. And so by splitting your time between 2 countries while running your business, again, dealing with the tax consequences that might come up with that, having a 3rd passport brewing more on a paper level, you could, by about age 30, collect your 12th, 13th, and 14th citizenships. Now, is this practical? Probably not. It would become really, really confusing. But what it does illustrate is all the different ways that you can get a second citizenship. Now, what am I excluding? I'm excluding some really kind of weird circumstances, like you're giving birth on a plane that took off from a country that grants planes that take off from their country's citizenship. Like children born on planes sometimes get access. If your plane is over the United States, if your plane took off from here, if your plane's landing there, potentially you could get a bunch of extra citizenships just by that. These are all kind of weird circumstances that probably aren't that likely. Obviously, you could also go out and buy 7 different citizenship by investments and rack the total up to about 20. Okay, so what I wanted to do is, not only just to have some fun, but to demonstrate, especially if you're having a child, showing you all the opportunities are possible, but no matter who you are, showing you just how possible it is to get second citizenships in different ways. And what I think the beauty of this thought process is that it demonstrates the benefit of having a passport portfolio. Let's say you have 1 European Union passport, 1 South American passport, 1 small country passport, 1 large country passport. You start to see diversity in your portfolio to where you've got a lot of opportunities for not only yourself, but future generations to be able to live, work, receive medical care, go to school, lots of benefits that come from this. So leave your comments below. What do you think I missed? What would you add to the equation? What countries would you choose? I want to hear from you.
Hi, I'm Andrew Henderson from Nomad Capitalist. I wrote this book, which you can find on Amazon, to distill a lot of the stuff we talk about in these videos and a lot of the stuff I've learned over the last decade plus traveling all around the world, teaching you about how to legally reduce your taxes, build your personal freedom, and create wealth faster. Definitely get a copy of this book if you want to learn more. Now, if you want to watch more videos, make sure you subscribe to our channel and make sure you click the notifications bell so you never miss one of our new videos with more tips on how to go where you're treated best. And if you're already a 6- or 7-figure entrepreneur and you'd like to put these strategies in place for yourself, go to nomadcapitalist.com and learn about how I can help you.